UK companies, big banks and financial institutions remain firmly in the spotlight as the global recession appears to be hardening. But the UK government says it's leading the way in restoring national and international confidence. Hence this speech by the British Prime Minister.
The central challenge we face, and we have now to overcome, is an unprecedented failure in the international financial system. Our banking systems and our national banking systems have been shown to be totally interdependent and interconnected. And while the crisis started in the United States of America, its effects are worldwide. Trillions of dollars of United States securities are held by non-United States institutions. Some estimates suggest it is as much as $4 trillion that have passed from America to the rest of the world, and a large proportion of these are held by European banks. And as these assets are written down, the bank's ability to support new lending is severely reduced, with real, direct and severe repercussions on businesses and families. Securitization, which is the packaging up and selling of these assets across the markets, was meant to diversify risks across the system. Instead, a mechanism to spread risk became a means of spreading contagion. And what was originally thought to be an ingenious way of bringing in non-bank investors, such as pension funds, became instead, as banks bought each other's securitized assets, the source of huge interbank exposure and over-leveraging. To prevent the banking system, which provides the lifeblood of our economy, from collapsing, if we had not put together the banking rescue scheme of last October, pensioners could have lost years of savings and hundreds of thousands more jobs in this country would have been lost, with millions more put at risk. But because we did what we did, today no ordinary UK savers have lost their deposits, and now every major country of the world has followed us with similar action. And we have provided banks with the capital to enable them to absorb increased losses. Our second action has been a monetary and fiscal stimulus for the economy. The Bank of England has moved quickly and decisively to cut interest rates, to help borrowers in the housing market and companies needing funds to continue to invest. And it has done so with an unprecedented degree of coordination with other central banks across the world. And today our interest rates are at their lowest level in history. Since the Bank of England started cutting interest rates in October last year, over 4 million homeowners on tracker mortgages have seen cuts in their monthly payments averaging around £150. And now, with inflation falling sharply, government debt levels low by international standards, and with the effectiveness of monetary policy potentially weakened by continuing strains in the financial system, it has been both necessary and prudent to accompany this radical monetary relaxation with the major fiscal stimulus we announced in the pre-budget report. So, we've increased investment in our infrastructure, we have raised the pension, increased child benefit, cut VAT, lowered taxes by raising tax allowances, and we have taken targeted action to try and prevent the short-term impact of the recession from having long-lasting effects on productivity and confidence. So while we can do a great deal nationally, we have to act internationally. If what happens to a bank in one country can within minutes bring potentially devastating effects on banks in a different continent, then only a truly international response in policy and in governance can be effective. And if we all coordinate our response, then there will be a quicker global and British recovery. This is an international economic hurricane sweeping the world and lashing our country. But we are taking action to calm the storm, to bring order out of chaos, and Britain is better placed to benefit as the storm pass it will. And we will succeed, but only if we leave behind yesterday's solutions and reshape our international institutions for the challenges of today and tomorrow. And let us never forget that this is about people's lives and their livelihoods. It's about economic reality and a steady resolve to do what's right for Britain and the world in a testing time. And as we do what's right here to deal with a crisis that is global in cause and scope, so Britain will lead in the reform of our global financial system, and we will lead so that we can advance recovery and we can prevent a crisis such as this from ever happening again. Thank you very much.
The UK government will host a global conference on such matters at the G20 summit in April.